You put a specific sort of have faith in the doctors, nurses, surgeons, and different clinical authorities accountable for your well-being. Unfortunately, that have confidence isn't continually rewarded. In some instances, the movements of a healthcare expert might also upward push to the stage of malpractice. Medical malpractice is alarmingly frequent in the United States. In fact, a Johns Hopkins find out about determined that scientific blunders kill extra than 250,000 Americans each and every year, making it the third leading reason of demise in the back of solely coronary heart ailment and cancer. What is medical malpractice? Medical malpractice happens when a healthcare expert affords therapy that deviates from well-known requirements of care inside the clinical community, thereby inflicting harm to a patient. If a doctor, surgeon, hospital, or every other celebration was once medically negligent, they may additionally be dependable for any ensuing losses. Medical negligence refers to a negligent act or omission, for example, disposing of the incorrect organ or leaving a surgical device in a patient's physique, that reasons injury. If the sufferer can exhibit that the negligent act used to be immediately accountable for their injury, they may also be awarded more than a few damages. What are some examples of medical malpractice? Anesthesia errors. There are more than one sorts of anesthesia with awesome purposes. General, in ordinary anesthesia, the affected person is unconscious and unaware of sensations. They don't experience any ache or keep in mind the process afterward. Regional anesthesia numbs a unique section of the body, such as an arm or leg. Local anesthesia numbs one small region of the body. For example, it may also be given to relieve a patient's ache whilst a deep reduce is sewn. Each kind of anesthesia includes the threat of complications. One of the most frequent and serious problems is anesthesia awareness, additionally acknowledged as intraoperative awareness. This takes place when an affected person regains attention all through surgery. If anesthesia is used incorrectly and an affected person is injured as a result, the negligent scientific expert may additionally be dependable for the ensuing damages. Some examples of negligence through an anesthesiologist include administering the incorrect kind of dose of anesthesia, administering anesthesia too late, failing to put an affected person below anesthesia, failing to proper manipulate the administration of medicines and fluids. Birth injury. The beginning of an infant ought to be a joyous occasion. Unfortunately, that's now not usually how it turns out. That's due to the fact now and again medical practitioner failed to supply a protected childbirth process. A cease end result can also be a debilitating delivery harm such as cerebral palsy, Erb's palsy, or brachial plexus palsy. Birth accidents can appear for a range of reasons, however they have a tendency to have one factor in common: they may want to have been averted with practical clinical care. Common motives of beginning accidents include excessive force. If a medical doctor exerts to a whole lot pressure on a new child baby's neck or limb when the usage of forceps or throughout vacuum extraction, it can lead to nerve damage. Delayed C-section. Failure to function a C-section in a well-timed manner can result in damage or demise to the child. Oxygen deprivation. Various problems can deprive a new child of oxygen. If, for example, the umbilical twine wraps around the baby's neck, it can lead to cognitive extend or intelligence damage. Failure to monitor. If the medical doctor neglects to screen the mom and baby's circumstance throughout, issues such as placenta previa or a ruptured uterus can occur. Emergency room errors. Emergency rooms are hectic. However, scientific gurus are skilled to manipulate tough conditions and ought to uphold the excessive popular of care no count what. Negligence on the phase of a doctor, nurse, or different team of workers member can lead to serious, debilitating injuries. Examples of emergency room negligence include misreading charts, X-rays, or MRIs, failing to diagnose a circumstance, making an unsuitable or delayed prognosis, making remedy blunders, failing to apprehend or deal with post-operative infections, neglecting to display affected person post-treatment. Hospital malpractice. In some cases, the health center itself may also be accountable in a clinical malpractice lawsuit. Hospitals need to accurately consider potential employees. That consists of evaluating their prior experience, certifications, and stage of education. If a health center hires an incompetent or underqualified group of workers member, it may also be in charge for any accidents induced by means of that employee. Hospitals are additionally accountable for correctly staffing the medical institution so that sufferers acquire desirable care and personnel aren't requested to do greater than can be moderately expected. They're additionally charged with maintaining song of affected person records. Failure to meet these and different requirements may also be grounds for a scientific malpractice